go. Back into the rat race we go. Friday traffic. We're just gonna have to take it. Finally coming out of my 5-day COVID slumber. It was not fun. Come on over, brother. I just let a trucker in and it felt cool. Hey, can you chill? What are you breathing so hard for? You know what's going on. Alright, so I have a long time to talk, so might as well give you guys a few updates. Essentially my problem is that the ideas that I have are much bigger than just being like a filmmaker or like videographer or being a musician or a songwriter or whatever. So essentially my issue is that the kinds of things I want to make and the kind of stories I want to tell and stuff, they relate to like a more broad spectrum than just like the one thing that I want to do. So basically what's going to happen moving forward is this channel, my personal channel, is going to become more of like a vlog channel, I guess. It's going to be like outdoor vlogs or like just random vlogs that I want to do. It's not going to be the channel where I'm putting all my energy to basically be like a content creator or try to, turn this into like a business or something. I kind of have had some stuff in the works for a few months, and like I said before in an older video, is that I'm going to basically start trying to do some, like turn this into a business, I guess, and do some more like commercial type stuff. I don't know right now if that's necessarily like videography or filmmaking or not, but it's more so going to be treating a YouTube channel as if it was a business, essentially. So I want to announce that I'm going to be building a new channel. It's going to be called Heartbeat Media. And basically what's going to happen on Heartbeat Media is it's going to be the hub for all creative types. It's going to be the hub where, filmmakers, videographers, songwriters, writers, musicians, producers, storytellers can all kind of meet up and share ideas and build a community. Not only that, I want to start doing more of a traditional kind of YouTuber like review kind of approach for products and stuff. But I'm going to kind of put my own spin on it. Basically, from this point on, I want most of my efforts to go towards this media company that I'm trying to start. So rather than like niching down to one thing all the time, it's going to allow me to kind of start from like a broad terminology of a subject in terms of like creativity, and then that'll allow me to niche down more like each video basically. So one of the ideas I had was like what songwriting taught me about filmmaking, right? That's a cool way that I can kind of show how there's overlap between those two things, because there's a lot of times I've seen where kind of the way that you flesh out and structure songs when songwriting is very similar to how you tell a story when you're doing films and stuff. And I kind of want to lock down on that niche of being able to combine different types of mediums of different mediums of creativity and being able to tell a story with that, and building a community around that idea that you can learn everything and you can better convey your stories and messages by learning all the mediums and combining them your own way. This is something that's been in the works for a long time. I got kind of frustrated a few months ago because, well, really this whole last year, honestly, since I stopped kind of putting stuff out on my music channel. The reasoning for that is because I don't like the idea of locking myself down to just being an audio engineer, just being a songwriter, just being a producer, just being a filmmaker, because these are things that I've put a lot of time and effort into learning, and I feel like there is a common theme between them all, and I think it's worth trying to make something where we can bring all artists and all creatives together into a certain space where no matter what you do, you find it relatable because they all kind of cross paths eventually, The main focus of all this, I want to be like basically making storytelling accessible to everybody and like teaching people how to do anything, anything within like a kind of like a digital media kind of way, like digital art, you know, mixed medium stuff. Like there's other channels on here that do kind of that in a way, but they focus more on like product reviews and stuff. I know there's this one channel, this guy is called Senpai Gaming, and he basically started with like an audio engineering background. He went to college for that, and he went all the way through to the very end, and then he like dropped out. But he had like some videos go viral, I think back on like Vine or something back in the day. And he was able to kind of push forward with that and start like a filmmaking videography kind of business. And then after that, he pivoted towards doing like YouTube reviews and stuff, and like not just product reviews, but kind of having influence on the whole realm from like gaming to streaming to video to tech stuff. You know, that's really what I'm more focused and interested in doing. Like I'd love to have a one-stop shop channel where like I can review microphones and, you know, teach people how to set up Twitch streams, and because I've done all of that. Whoa, oh, hell, dude. Blind spot. Gotta watch those Teslas, man. They'll try to take you out. Anyways, so that's the only downside of life in the slow lane, is you have to watch for obstacles a lot more. Because there's a lot of people merging on and stuff around you. So yeah, no, I'm somebody that's done it all, you know? Like I spent years Twitch streaming. I've spent years learning how to set up streams, like OBS, making custom overlays, transitions. I've learned all the ins and outs of filmmaking. I've learned, you know, camera specs, lenses, like cinematography, editing, special effects, motion graphics. Like my entire resume is pretty vast in terms of all the different things I can do, and I think it'd be really cool to create a creative hub where everybody can kind of come together and be like, hey, you know, I may be a videographer, but I've always wanted to try Twitch streaming. Like, okay, well here, let me kind of portray this information in a way that would make more sense to you, you know? Maybe you're more familiar with doing like cinematography stuff. Maybe you have no idea how to set up an OBS stream and like start streaming some games for fun on the side, you know, things like that. Ultimately, that's kind of my goal with Heartbeat Media. Eventually it'd be cool to branch out into like doing some commercial work and things like that, like commercial advertising or things like that. But yeah, that's basically it. It's kind of an idea that I've had for a while, and I really want to start putting all my eggs kind of towards that basket more. And not to say I'm not going to keep doing like, you know, my vlogs and my songwriting stuff and like my music stuff that I do, my songwriting stuff, but I feel like there's a better way to combine all that information together in one place and inform people and educate people and, you know, infotainment, right? Edutainment, I guess they call it. I kind of am starting to figure out what I want, you know, the next 15 to 20 years to look like, and I kind of have figured out the things that I want to start working towards, and I'm not feeling like I'm in limbo so much anymore, trying to figure out what I want. But ultimately, like, the dream that I want to work towards is...
There's a 5-minute slowdown in 5 miles. You're still on the fastest route. I
figured there'd be a slowdown. We're driving towards Orange County, after all. For a long time, like, I didn't really know exactly what I was working towards, and, you know, what kind of things I wanted in life, and I kind of just took a backseat to my own life for a long time. And it's like, now I'm kind of coming out of it, and I'm like, okay, I've been, you know, working hard at this job for almost 3 years now. I've saved up a good chunk of cash. Like, I'm ready. Like, it's time for me to, you know, stop taking the backseat to my own life and kind of like being fearful and feeling shameful about the big dreams that I have that are kind of unrealistic a lot of the time, you know. But I think this is going to be the path that makes the most sense for me, that's the least abrasive. It's really hard for me sometimes to stay consistent with stuff I'm not passionate about. And what happens is I end up just kind of putting my focus in a lot of different areas at once, and I never really gain any traction in any one direction. Because, like, for example, I have this channel where I make, you know, I've always kind of done filmmaking stuff and tutorials and reviews and that sort of stuff, but more recently I started a golf channel, and that was kind of fun because I realized like how much fun I have golfing, and like it's a leisurely thing for me, and it's something I really enjoy doing in my downtime when I'm not working and stuff. And I know golf content on YouTube has kind of been like popping off lately, so that's kind of another funnel of income that I've been working on, like moving towards creating like a clothing brand, you know, like a golf themed clothing brand. But geez, you good? Fucking coughing up. a golf themed clothing brand where I do like funny shirt designs and things like that, you know, and create golf content that's like easy to kind of spam out and make, you know, because we're already going to be golfing. But on the other hand, when I have my music channel where I'm trying to crank out production videos, and you know, that's kind of an unreliable method for me because I don't always have inspiration to write music. Like, for example, I haven't even really picked up a guitar for like the last month or two, and I know if you're ever going to make it anywhere in music or anything like that, you need to be working on it every single day, and it's just not something that's feasible for me right now. I've kind of realized that having a hub where I can combine all these things in one and still have them make sense and have them be about the same subject, roughly, is going to end up being way more good for me in the long run, because I kind of am niching down on like art and creatives in a way, but I'm still kind of leaving options open to where I can make a video about, you know, why you struggle to write, or why you have trouble with art, or why you have trouble being creative, or, you know, things like that, and kind of just documenting life and documenting the, you know, the tools that we use to create, and the tools that we use to, you know, kind of do this job and try to make a living this way, you know. So that's my gift of gab, you know. I'm not super talkative until I get to know you, and then it's just, you can't really turn the faucet off after a while. So that's kind of something that I always enjoyed about when we did video reviews a long time ago, was being able to talk about a product or something like 14 different ways and show people all the different ways you can use it, and show them something cool that you made with that product, you know. Like, for example, the Osmo Pocket 3 that I've been using for a few months now is like, at this point I have so much cool footage that I've done with it, like it's almost time for me to make a cool review on it, you know, and tell it in my own way, rather than kind of just doing like these 1 week like grind out reviews that most of these people do for like, you know, brand deals and stuff. That'd be another cool thing to do down the road too, is like brand deals. I know when I was first starting out, it felt kind of like disgenuine and dishonest to do like product reviews for brand deals and stuff, but the older I get, the more I realize, like, for every person on this platform that's not being honest and like not playing the game, you're basically doing people a disservice, because you could be on there being the honest guy and being the genuine guy and being the person that, you know, makes a living actually helping people and not just trying to shill out to brands and stuff. You could actually be the guy that plays the algorithm game and like maybe uses a clickbait title once in a while, but when they actually open the video, it's way better than what they were expecting, and it's completely different than what they were expecting, you know. I kind of realized over time that it's a little bit of a cop-out to be like, oh, I refuse to do product reviews, that's disgenuine and dishonest. And it's like, it's not disgenuine or dishonest unless you are being disgenuine and dishonest about it. You could be the guy that's not disgenuine or dishonest about it. Anyways, I enjoy tech, and I enjoy like gear, and I enjoy filmmaking, and I enjoy storytelling, and, you know, being a songwriter and all that stuff, but it's kind of a thing where I have always enjoyed more like quiet, simple living, and it's kind of hard to balance being on the cutting edge and like having slow living all the time. And I feel like the YouTube creators I'm the most envious of are the ones who buy like a nice property like out away from the city, and they build like a warehouse and they have a studio there, and, you know, that's something like, that's another thing about Senpai Gaming that I like, is that he has like a super crazy nice house, and he literally built a music studio in his house because he has a record label. And I think that's so cool, because that's another thing too. I see a lot of similarities between me and that guy, because he basically had the studio tour that they did where they went and like looked at his studio, and he was saying how he kind of has a bad habit of dipping his toes into too many things, and I've kind of shared that with him, I feel like. But it's so cool that he has like a music studio, he has like a full-on mix room in his house next to his studio where he makes his YouTube videos and like does his tech reviews, and he does all that kind of stuff too. He does like reviews on like Elgato products for Twitch streaming. He does OBS tutorials, he does Premiere stuff, he does a little bit of everything, and I really like that. And he's very successful, and he's really personable, and it's like, I don't know, I just feel like that guy has found the magic formula for everything. And it's something that I kind of want to strive towards in my own way. That's kind of like something that's a goalpost for me, you know. I've been using the Osmo Action 4 lately. I picked it up for golf videos, and I was not really interested in getting back into the GoPro ecosystem. And I noticed that the color science on the Osmo action, it matches the Osmo Pocket color science like perfectly, so it makes it really easy to grade. You just throw like the D-Log LUT on there, and then I just throw like my normal LUT that I like to use on there, and then it's like it's slightly different to adjust because the action's a little overexposed sometimes, but you just pull the highlights down, and it's got like 10-bit, so it's nice. So I have 2 cameras with 10-bit with the same color science on there that are small and compact. It's like a dream come true. It's so nice. I'm really glad I've been able to bring you guys on this drive with me though. I've never really done something like this. It's kind of cool. Normally I just kind of sit silently or like jam out to some music when I'm driving, but it's kind of cool to bring people along with me and kind of talk to them about stuff, you know. It's kind of nice kind of living in the slow lane a little bit lately. I kind of, on the way home from work and stuff lately, I've just kind of been taking the slow lane and going my own speed and my own pace, and that's been really nice for me, because for a long time there I was just like, rush, get home, I gotta get home, I gotta work on stuff, I gotta, you know, I already lost 10 hours of my day today, I need to try to catch up on, you know, making a reel, or I need to work on mixing the song, or I need to write a song or something, and it's just like, kind of freeing myself from that desperation a little bit has been nice, just kind of going at my own pace and not rushing to get anywhere, you know, extending the life of my vehicle a little bit longer. I feel like it's important to value your real life more than, you know, your online persona. I've been learning lately, more recently. It's like, I feel like a lot of people that have kind of craved validation for most of their life, just like, they kind of get in this trap with social media where it's like, oh, you know, this audience of parasocial relationships are full of yes men are gonna, you know, tell me I finally did everything right. And then it's like, if you kind of think forward a little bit, say you do have like, you know, 400,000 subscribers, whatever, 350,000 subscribers, and it's like, you have people commenting all the time, you have people engaging, liking your videos, you're getting put in the recommended and stuff, and then it's like, what now? You know, she'll want to go outside and she won't know why. She just knows that she wants to go, and then when she finally gets out there, she just stands there and she's like, wait, why did I want to come out here? Like, she literally just wanted to play the game of go on the other side of the door. Like, that's all she wanted to do. So that's kind of how I feel about social media sometimes. It's like, you're getting on the other side of the door there, but is it worth it, you know? What are you going to do once you get there? Like, have you set up like revenue funnels, or do you have income streams? Like, what are you going to do, you know? So you're going to sling t-shirts, you're going to sell courses, like, you're going to have a special program to join to teach people, like, what's the game plan, you know? That's kind of how I feel about it. It's just like a lot of superficial that doesn't really matter, that doesn't have anything to do with your life. And that's another thing about Heartbeat Media, is like, I feel like I'm finally going to be able to separate my personal identity from what I'm making, you know? And that's not to say it's not going to be personable and relatable and things like that, but it's more like being able to separate my personal life from the stuff that I make is going to be so much more freeing, to like know that I'm working towards like a third party goal rather than like my identity and my whole livelihood and everything that makes me who I am, because it's really not who I am. Like, YouTube and stuff and like content creation and art and creativity is like, it's who I am because it's what I like to do and it's like what I want to do, but it's not the essence of who I am, you know? Like, it's not my experiences, it's not my humor, it's not my personality, it's not, you know, the things that I enjoy doing on the side, like golfing or, you know, fishing or outdoor stuff, like spending time with people, or, you know, eating junk food, like, I don't know, going to get food that I like all the time that's too expensive, but it's comforting, so I do it anyway. The internet doesn't really know who I am, and that's okay. That's completely fine with me. I don't need the internet to know who I am. Jeez, I love getting on the freeway right next to a highway patrol. One of my biggest fears is being that guy that went all in and like didn't make anything of it and basically like effed himself. And he's at the point where he's like, oh, I've completely lost all my passion for any of this. It's just become a business. It's become work. It's like, I understand there is going to be a business aspect to it at certain points, but I don't want to kill my whole genuine interest in doing it, you know? That's like a big thing for me. I got to get over. It's a big trailer in front of me. I like pulled my neck out this morning and it hurts when I check my blind spot. Ow. Another thing I want to do with Heartbeat Media is like, I want to showcase different people, showcase other creators. I want to collaborate with people. I want to be able to make really cool reviews that aren't necessarily like just designed to sell you something. More like, I want to teach you an experience or teach you some wisdom or provide you some value other than showing you this product. Like, for example, with the Osmo Pocket 3, one of the big things I want to showcase with that camera is how amazing it is for recreation and outdoors. It's like so good. Every time I go on a fishing trip, I'm bringing like my whole case of cameras. You know, I'm bringing my Lumix, my cage, like all my stuff, and the Osmo Pocket kind of just puts it all in one. If you're somebody that's not like me, but you're like really good at doing recreational stuff, like say you're like one of those guys that does like van life or something, that's like the perfect camera for you, because you can only just set that thing up and it'll follow you around and all that good stuff, you know. For golfers especially, it's awesome. I took it on a trip with us to go golfing a few weeks ago, and I bought like a little Ulanzi like selfie stick / tripod thing, and I was able to set it up on every tee box in like half a second, and then also walk around and film with it and have stabilized nice good 4K footage. And with those ND filters, that thing is like amazing. It's so nice. You're locked down to one focal length, but that's fine. At least they give you a versatile focal length. It's like 22 millimeters, something like that, 22 millimeter. So I've been able to get some really good stuff out of it, honestly. That sheet is cracked. Out of her mind. Dutchie is cracked. Out of her mind. Dutchie is cracked. Out of her mind. Dutchie is cracked. Dutchie is cracked. Dutchie is freaking cracked. There's my big old truck, brother. I got a GMC Sierra Denali 4x4 4-wheel drive 2500 HD dually. Got it lifted up on king shocks. I'm going to be towing everything in the whole book. I'm going to tow my motorhome. I'm going to tow my RV. I'm going to tow my boat. I'm going to tow my wife. I'm going to tow my kids and my dog. Actually, no, I'm just going to drive to the grocery store and pick up some wood once in a while. It's all about using the right tool for the job, you know? Like, you got to use the right tool for the job. You can't just... I didn't used to really like these pocket cams and stuff because I thought they were kind of gimmicky, but that was back when the quality was kind of the same across like a 1080p camera, you know? It's like, why pay $400 for a pocket cam when you can pay $500 for a Rebel T5i and also have a DSLR that shoots photos, you know? But now it actually kind of makes sense because it's like, the quality is so comparable that it's not really gimmicky anymore. It doesn't feel like a gimmick. It actually feels like a tool. It doesn't feel like a toy anymore. That's kind of what I was trying to say. The first iterations of like the Osmo Pocket cameras and like the Osmo phone gimbals and stuff, those kind of felt to me like a toy. That's not something you'd use for like actual filmmaking or storytelling. It's something that you would use to like create like a cheesy social media ad for like a real estate agent or something, you know? It wasn't really a storytelling tool. But now you can. Now they're sweet. You can use them for storytelling. They look so good. Perfect for vlogging. We're going to take the long way. It's all good, Dutchie. It's a 240SX right there. Back in my Racer Boy era, I would have liked that. Good girl, Dad. There's Jess. Just the mailman. There's his truck. Jess is kind of like one of those side characters in the movie that comes in and out for like 18 years of your life. That's it. We did it, Dutchie. We did it.